Celebrating 70 years of coverage you can count on. This is KCBD News Channel 11's Daybreak Today.
Now at 6, we'll tell you the type of gun found after a scare in an area campus. Plus, Maui's top emergency management official has resigned. We're going to hear his reasoning behind not sounding warning sirens as wildfire swept across the island. And parts of California and Arizona are now bracing for heavy rain as Hurricane Hilary makes its way to the west coast. That story and more just ahead. Good morning and thank you very much for waking up with us. I'm Michael Cantu in for Angie Wayne. Today is Friday, August 18th. Colin Mertz is in the First Alert Forecast Center for Steve Devine this morning. And it's a First Alert weather day. Lots to talk about. Good morning, Colin.
Good morning. Yeah, unfortunately, First Alert weather day due to excessive heat expected this afternoon. We're expected to hit and potentially exceed the threshold of 105 for a First Alert weather day here in Lubbock. And so that in combination with some heat advisories that are across the area, it's going to be a day to keep your eyes peeled if you're going to be out and about this afternoon. Now, we're about 73 at the moment. The wind's still southeasterly, but these are going to shift to a more southwesterly direction in the afternoon and late morning, and we're going to see those really crank up the temps, expecting to jump up to about 100 by noon, and then not too far after that hitting our high around kind of mid-afternoon, expecting about 105 for our high today. Again, that does meet the threshold for a First Alert weather day, and you combine that with just the excessive heat across the area. You can see it's really going to be pretty difficult, especially east of the Caprock. So we'll have some more details on that here in a bit, Michael.
Very good reason to take it easy if you have to be outside.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Colin. We'll check back in a bit. But for now, a Littlefield man is in jail this morning after police say he caused a gun scare at his school. Police received a call about a man armed with a rifle walking near Littlefield Primary School just before 3:30 yesterday afternoon. Now, officers were around the school until students and staff were dismissed safely. Police later arrested Christopher Morales, who you see there, about a block away from the school off West Side Avenue. Investigators say the rifle turned out to be a BB gun. Morales is now charged with terroristic threat and disorderly conduct. In Hockley County, another man is in jail accused of making a terroristic threat. Hockley County Sheriff's deputies went to a building near Highway 84 and FM 2130. That's close to Roundup yesterday. That is where investigators say they found the man armed with a pellet gun aimed at a crop duster flying overhead. He was then arrested. His name has not yet been released. A Lubbock man will spend more than 3 decades in prison after a deadly shooting in central Lubbock. Calvin Brown, who you see there, Jr., pled guilty yesterday to shooting and killing 67-year-old Ronald Cepeda in 2020. He was sentenced to 35 years in prison. Brown reportedly told officers the two got into a fight at a home in central Lubbock, and he shot Cepeda in self-defense. Police believe Brown then attempted to hide the body in the cellar of his home, which he later admitted to. President Biden is hosting a summit today with Japan's Prime Minister and the President of South Korea. That summit's happening at Camp David. Comes after improvements in relations between Tokyo and Seoul. It also comes as there are concerns over threats from China and North Korea. That includes sharing intelligence. Now they're going to start doing more things, which includes sharing intelligence about ballistic missile threats and having regular joint military exercises. Maui's top emergency management official has resigned. Emergency Management Agency Administrator Herman Andaya quit yesterday, citing health concerns. He was the target of harsh criticism for his decision not to sound warning sirens as wildfires swept across the island. Andaya says these sirens are primarily used to warn coastal residents of tsunamis. His worry was it would send people inland toward the flames.
Do you regret not sounding the sirens?
I do not. Even if we sounded the siren, it would not have saved those people on the mountainside.
Meanwhile, the investigation continues into what sparked the wildfires. Now, this surveillance video here that shows an explosion and then flames outside of Maui's Bird Conservation Center. Now, experts say that could have been a transformer explosion or power line arc caused by the high winds.
Any of those faults, just like what you see in the video from the bird sanctuary, are likely to cause an arc or a spark. That means there's molten shards of hot metal falling down to the ground.
Authorities say, though, it will take some time to determine what the official cause of the fire is. In Canada, though, thousands are being told to evacuate because of wildfires. More than 1,000 are currently burning across the country as of now. This is video from the town of Yellowknife. Officials say numerous airlines and the federal government are helping with air evacuations. Members of the Canadian Armed Forces, including 124 soldiers, are being called in to help airlift people to safety. Soldiers are even helping firefighters with dousing hotspots and clearing areas. Also weather-related, Hurricane Hillary is threatening parts of California and Arizona. The National Weather Service has it listed as a Category 4 storm right now. John Lawrence reports.
Hurricane Hillary is eyeing up the West Coast.
It's going to try to squeeze its way between a low to the west and a high to the east.
The center of Hurricane Hillary is expected to approach Mexico's Baja Peninsula this weekend, bringing severe weather to the southwest.
The rain will be very heavy with this system, possibly 4 to 6 inches of rainfall, especially in these higher elevations.
The city of San Diego's Office of Emergency Services says it's prepared.
Well, from the winter storms, we know where flooding occurs.
If Hillary does make landfall on U.S. soil as a tropical storm, that would mark the first time that's happened in nearly 84 years, according to data from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration.
We'll be in the lowest level of activation, ready. But as it escalates, we'll start bringing in the other individuals to staff the EOC.
About 60 miles to the north in San Clemente, crews have been working, hoping to prevent mudslides from striking the area again.
Anytime you have a swell push up from the south, it's going to be big. And sometimes that doesn't mean it's going to be really good shape. It just means it's going to be big.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Now for a check of our weather with Colin Mertz. Colin, I'd imagine it's a little too far out to anticipate that would have any impact on this area, though, right?
Well, like John Lawrence was showing in that package, it's kind of going around that area of high pressure. Now, the area of high pressure is what's sitting over us. That's what's keeping us hot. That's what's keeping us hot and dry and miserable over the course of today and even a bit into the weekend. But as that makes its way around, you can see we're expecting that to, at minimum, disrupt the pattern on the on the west coast there for Southern California. But again, potentially could drop some pretty significant rainfall for those folks. Regardless, it's going to put a lot of moisture into the air. And actually, I wanted to show off the satellite radar because that's a very distinct eye center there. Very, I guess, just picturesque hurricane. And it's a shame that it's kind of moving in the direction it is. But we can't dwell on that too much. As I want to dig into the tropics, we have a first alert weather day today, unfortunately, expecting some pretty significant heat across the area, which is why we not only have the first alert weather day, but the National Weather Service also has these heat advisories across much of the area as well. The only folks staying out of those are our New Mexico counties. The rest of us expecting some very potentially some very hot and potentially dangerous temperatures today. And so to kind of put that in perspective, here's a look at the highs today. Again, 105 is our threshold for a first alert weather day here in Lubbock, but we also have 110s off to the east yet again, like yesterday. Now, yesterday, some of these areas were actually a little bit warmer, but things are more widespread. The heat is more kind of covering a larger area in terms of who is seeing those elevated risks for today. And so all that to say, if you're going to be outdoors at any point today, you're going to need to make sure you're taking some caution, especially in the afternoon. We do actually get a bit of a cool off in the evening, dropping to upper 60s, low 70s tonight, about 72 for our low. And the next 7 days, we actually see the temps back off slowly for the weekend, about 102 for Saturday, 100 for Sunday, Michael.
Thank you very much, Colin. Still to come on Daybreak today, some Facebook users still have time to file a claim in the company's $725 million settlement. We'll tell you if you're eligible. Plus, a Lubbock High School senior has started her own baking business. We're going to tell you how it is helping her as she fights cancer. That's just ahead on Daybreak today.